It's a pleasure to take part in today's debate. And, can I just pay tribute to my friend and colleague from North East Bedfordshire? He spoke with such common sense. And this is where I'm going to concentrate the very short time I have in regard to the self-employed, the financial world, all the businessmen and women who risk everything to create the wealth and prosperity we need. Can I repeat from the Dorset businesses' perspective to the front bench of the Treasury to thank them very much indeed for all the furlough scheme and for the announcements made today. The thanks I receive is unanimous, despite what you may hear from other quarters, not least the media. They are extremely grateful for the thousands of jobs in South Dorset that are being saved and the millions of jobs that are being saved around the country. And today's announcement is especially good news for the young who, yes, face threats from this COVID and getting into work. My own children included, of course, face the same problem. And I welcome the announcement today. And the hospitality sector, which in South Dorset in particular has been hit very hard because we rely so much on tourism and hospitality to make the economy go round. I'm going to touch briefly on taxation and the private sector, our armed forces if I have time, and Dorset Council and Police if I have a little bit more time. Never, in my view, has there been a better opportunity to radically overhaul the taxation system in this country. I believe it's outdated, punitive and bureaucratic. I welcome the announcements made today on VAT and stamp duty. That's a start. But let's get rid of them altogether. Let's go much further. Capital gains tax, inheritance tax. Look where our poll rating went when, if I recall, George Osborne raised the threshold to £1 million. This is people's money. We have no right to take money off people unfairly. And the economy will only work if we allow the entrepreneurs, the businessmen and women, the financial sector, the self-employed, and everyone else that he referred to from North East Bedfordshire to generate the wealth that we need. On the opposite benches is the classic old, let's tax them and tax them and tax them. They simply do not understand, and never ever will, that all those risking their homes, their livelihoods, their families to generate the wealth that this country needs, to generate the wealth and prosperity and jobs, which pay for the public services, which I'd be delighted to give way.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Would my honourable friend agree with me that in constituencies such as mine, with 97% of businesses being micro and small sized, that they should absolutely be at the forefront of what we need to do today?
My friend and neighbour in West Dorset, and welcome him to his place. I've got time quickly to mention the armed services. This COVID crisis has shown how professional, dedicated and truly treasured the armed services are, in addition, of course, to all those who work in the NHS to whom might pay equal tribute. We must never forget that the armed services need to be funded properly. And 2% of GDP, in my view, is not enough. We need 3 or 4%, and I would urge the Treasury to keep fighting on behalf of those who serve us with such distinction. And the Council, Dorset Council and Police, both are facing huge extra costs because of COVID, the hundreds of thousands that descend on our beaches and coves over the recent weekends, and Dorset Council estimates it's spending about £15 million a month on COVID provision. They have done an outstanding job, and I pay tribute to Dorset Council and Dorset Police for the selfless way, in many, many hours, many weekends they've worked for no extra pay, and I would like to pay my thanks to all of them. Can I end by saying that we locked the country down once, and can I recommend to the Treasury we never ever do it again?
Jill Hopkins.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy.